Mayang adlaw, ¿cómo está? This is Ben from Philippines Xtremes, coming to you from Ababa, Cordova, just outside of Cebu City. So now this video is about money problems that you can encounter in the Philippines if you're not smart and you do dumb stuff like I did. So sometimes we learn from our own mistakes and sometimes we learn from others' mistakes. So here's a mistake I made. First of all, came to the Philippines and I was running just off of my debit card that was connected to my bank account. Now, everything was going smoothly. I was just doing transfers into Western Union and picking them up. Well, lo and behold, on this last Wednesday, I believe it was, I tried to do a transfer and it was declined. And trust me, you do not want that to happen to you when you're far removed from your home country. And like me, I had a few strikes against me. I don't have a phone that I can call to the United States. And I only had that one debit card. So when you don't have a phone and you cannot call, that means you're probably relying on email or some other alternative. Unfortunately, I have a relationship with my bank manager because it's a very small town that I'm from. And before I left, she gave me her personal email and told me if I had any problems that I could contact her directly and she would get right on top of it. And she has been very good. I've had just a couple of problems and she's solved the problem. So what happened to me was my debit card was flagged for fraud. Evidently, somebody in Japan, I don't know how they got my card number, but somebody in Japan tried to charge subway tickets. And of course, my bank knows that I'm in the Philippines, so they flagged the transaction immediately and shut the card down. So of course, I found out about this, when I was trying to do a transaction. So I contacted her via email, and she, fortunately for my sake, allowed me to turn the card back on for a one-time transaction. And I was able to do a transfer into Western Union. I did a little bit more than I normally do just so I can have some cash until, and this is the kicker, they mail me a new card. So they're going to mail me a new card from the United States. So I have to wait for that to arrive. And I have no idea how long that will take. But I'm okay in the meantime because I transferred a significant amount. So just to be safe. Now, how can you avoid this? Well, number one is to have more than one card or access to more than one source of money. One thing that we also did, which I kind of forgot about because we weren't touching it, was we opened Lili, a local bank account, and we deposited some money into it. And we were able to access that. So that is what I recommend, is having two sources or more that you have at your disposal for emergencies such as this. There's a lot of international fraud. I experienced fraud when I was even in the States. Somehow somebody would get a hold of my account number and they would shut it down. And it's pretty easy to handle when you're, in your home country, because they'll just, you can still, you can go into your bank and withdraw cash. And then they send you a card and it, takes a week or whatever, and you just activate it, no problem. But if you're far removed from it and you're living abroad, it can be quite a headache. And trust me, you don't want to be all the way in Asia and not have access to any money for several weeks. So do yourself a favor and make sure you have multiple sources of income. It'd help to have the ability to call the States. When I arrived here, my phone didn't have the option to even put a SIM card in it. So the service that I had in the States was no longer even possible. So maybe have a phone number that you can use to make international calls, and definitely have two sources that you can withdraw funds from. And if you have the ability to get a bank account here, that is highly recommended. Just for emergencies, just put some cash into a bank account and don't touch it unless something like this comes up. So avoid these things and don't be an idiot like me. Sometimes I get a little bit laxed in my ways, and I don't really have many worries, and I tend to not worry about things. But that can come back to bite you. So that's my advice to you. Have a phone number, have multiple options for withdrawing cash from sources, maybe a credit card, maybe a local bank, and an international bank too. So thanks for watching. Make sure you follow this advice so you don't end up, cashless in Asia, which can be, really daunting, and you'll be fine. So pretty simple, pretty short, cut and dry. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a blessed day.